What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Luocha and Silverwolf. Direct comparison video, value, everything, alright, just like we did for Sila and for Jingyuan. Now before we get started, I want you guys to understand it's truly up to you who you want to choose. If you want to choose Luocha, it doesn't matter. If you want to choose Silverwolf, it doesn't matter. If you want to skip and only pull for a 4-star character, doesn't matter. This video is supposed to help inform you to make the best decision possible for your account, but it's never meant to serve as the end all be all of what you should be doing. That being said, in my opinion, there is a right and wrong answer for different accounts, right? So let's start with Luocha and who should be pulling for Luocha. The thing with Luocha is that he's actually a character that's designed for another DPS character coming down the line. So if you're talking about the true value of Luocha, it's ideal for people who are pulling for Blade. Yes, Luocha and Blade have great synergies together, and he's going to provide great support utility capability for Blade. Now, if you're not pulling for Blade, should you still pull for Luocha? Well, you see, that really depends, right? What is your goal in the game of Honkai Star Rail? Right now, there's a problem with endgame being like, well, I need a second healer for my second team because I don't have Jeopard, I don't have Bailu, I only have Natasha, right? So I need another healer, and if I want to continue pushing for Memory of Chaos to get the rewards, then I'm gonna need to pull for Luocha. I'm gonna have to invest into a healer. However, there's also another issue where your second team isn't even well enough built to actually combat the latter levels of Memory of Chaos, right? You guys keep hearing people say that you need a second healer like Luocha, but really, how competitive is your account when it comes to combating Memory of Chaos content, right? There's currently right now a couple free-to-play variants that people are saying, like, you know, if you play another patch or two, maybe you're going to be able to clear Memory of Chaos even as a free-to-play player, depending on how lucky you got with your account. However, right now, even if you got Luocha, this is my thing to you, right? Even if you got Luocha, do you even have the DPS to even clear it? Are you still just gonna get one shot, or are you gonna find yourself in a stalemate with the enemy, right? How well do you even know your account? There's a lot of people right now who has one team really cracked out, like level 70, Traces leveled up as much as they can, everything's kind of like jacked up to the teeth, relic farming has been going great for them. However, their second team looks kind of like a ragtag bunch of units that are like some at 50, some at 60. You barely have enough resource for your main team, and then you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna get Luocha for my second team, and then I'm gonna clear Memory of Chaos. You don't have the resources to even pump all these characters up to level 70 and get the proper relics on them. And for people who are very unlucky with relic grinding, forget about it. So my point is not to tell you don't pull Luocha. He is incredibly good still, right? For the people whose situation aligns with his kit and how it benefits you, by all means get Luocha. And for the people who's like, oh, he's my husbando, of course get him, like I said in the beginning of the video. But understand that Luocha is not going to come into your account and solve all your problems. It's not like, oh, I'm going to pull Luocha and I'm going to be able to beat the Memory of Chaos. For some, you will, right? Definitely there are some people who have everything built up and just waiting for that one extra healer to be able to combat future content. But right now, the vast majority of you, I can guarantee you, are not in that position. Now, does this mean that Silverwolf is the obvious option, right? Like, well, let's take a look at Silverwolf. What's up with Silverwolf? Well, the thing with Silverwolf is she is released far too early for her time. Now, here's the catch though. Silverwolf's true value will come to surface once you start to have options in team building, right? The idea with Silverwolf is you take your team composition and you construct it in a way to counter the enemy's weaknesses. What does that mean? So you can actually use Silverwolf to force a certain type of weakness onto the enemy with incredible success rate. If you're able to single out certain weakness types, that means you're going to have to switch characters in and out with different elements that also fit the role that you need. It's not like just matching the elements. Sometimes you're going to need a buffer, sometimes you're going to need a healer, sometimes you're going to need a tank, right? And maybe, who knows, sometimes you're going to want to run double DPS. The point here is that right now in the game, let's not even talk about flexibility. Some people don't even have a second team constructed, as with my point earlier when talking about Luocha. So when you look at a character like Silverwolf, you can't really take advantage of her kit fully. I mean, yes, if you get lucky, right, you're willing to reset your runs a couple times. If you get the weakness you want on the enemies, perfect. But then after 2 turns, you're gonna have to redo it. There's gonna be a lot of turns here that could potentially be wasted. Are you gonna sit there and reset until you get like 10 turns in a row where Silverwolf just has the perfect weakness debuff, obviously that's ludicrous to say. So my point here really is that for Silverwolf to truly be valuable to most people's account, surprisingly, it's probably going to be 6, 7, maybe even a year later when you have like 4 or 5 different potential teams constructed and you can switch characters in and out and in and out and make sure every single battle, every single run is going to be amazing for Silverwolf, right? There's going to be wind teams, there's going to be quantum teams, imaginary teams, fire teams, lightning teams, all these available options for you. So when you are sitting here saying, well, I'm going to use Silverwolf and I'm going to only pull for one type of damage carry, and I will just force Silverwolf to apply that weakness to the enemies. Now that works in most scenarios, but what if the enemies are not weak to that element and they're not weak to quantum? What ends up happening is Silverwolf has a chance to apply her quantum to the enemy, and in those scenarios you are just kind of out of luck, right? You're gonna have to wait 2 turns, wait it out, and then wait for her to now apply the element that you want onto the enemy. So that's really my point. Truly, if you want to take advantage of Silverwolf every single time without fail, you're gonna have to play a 4 quantum team, which currently we don't have a quantum healer, we don't have a quantum preservation, so you're gonna have to wait until either a preservation unit comes out in the quantum category. So you're gonna have to wait for a quantum buffer plus a quantum preservation or abundance character. Then you have a 4 quantum team. Then you can truly just brute force your way through content with Seele. Now that means Seele is going to lose Bronya as well, right? So there's a lot of complications in here that a lot of people aren't taking account for. It's like, oh my god, waifu. They really got their head spun around and going crazy for Silverwolf, when in fact that honest advice from both myself and also beta testers and veteran players saying that Silverwolf is likely a character that you're going to benefit far more from by the time she's rerunning. Now we don't know when this is. This could be a year from now, this could be half a year from, this could be 8 months from now, but the point here is that by the time she comes around next time, your account would have likely progressed to a point where you can actually take advantage of her kit a lot more often. So now let's actually look at these 2 characters, right? Luocha, Silverwolf. Now it seems like I've only been talking about the negatives, and that's because I need to warn people about the things that a lot of other content creators are not going to be talking about. No one's going to be trying to sit here and tell you guys don't pull for these 2 characters, why you shouldn't pull for these 2 characters, what are the weaknesses of these 2 characters. They're all going to say Silverwolf's amazing, best waifu, I love her, I think she's amazing, cute, I think her design is awesome, right? They're only going to shower them with praises, which it's all true though. Luocha is extremely handsome, desirable, and I think imaginary is a great role to fit into the game right now, especially for people who don't have wealth, right? And of course Yukong is coming out next patch as well, so for people who want an imaginary unit, you can always pull Yukong, which actually right now seems to be a great unit as well. We'll make some videos about her later when the patch is about to drop. But currently right now, neither Luocha or Silverwolf is going to solve the issue for people who are struggling in Memory of Chaos. Very few people are going to actually be able to take advantage of Luocha's healing to complete a second team who's jacked up enough to continue pushing Memory of Chaos, and on top of that, very few people are going to be able to fully take advantage of Silverwolf's kit and apply a proper weakness debuff to the enemies consistently that is of the one that you want, and that's including the whales who probably have every character in the game, because there are just certain teams that right now don't have enough characters to fill those slots. However, if you're really going to choose one of the 2 characters, Luocha is a short-term investment, and I say that wholeheartedly unless you're pulling for Blade. Again, if you're pulling for Blade, Luocha can be a great long-term investment. Right now the Hoyoverse plan is to basically squeeze the healer category while making them absolutely necessary to progress in endgame content, right? Squeeze that pool extremely tight. Bailu, Natasha, that's all you get. One is a 5-star standard banner character and the other one sure is free to play, but right, as a lot of you guys know, you might be really struggling right now, and that's why Luocha's value is incredibly high short term. Sure, you might not really be able to beat Memory of Chaos even by the end of next patch, but by the time Luocha disappears and you still don't have a healer, give it 3-4 patches down the line, you only have Luocha, Bailu, and Natasha as available healers, and you skip Luocha, and by then your second team is very well constructed. You're also missing out on a Jeopard or something like that. Then you're gonna really feel the craving for an additional healer. That's why I say Luocha is great for the short-term investment. If you see yourself really pushing for Memory of Chaos, he's still a good option. It's just that understand you're not going to likely benefit from him immediately in patch 1.1, or the vast majority of you will not. Now talking about Silverwolf, Silverwolf right now is the better long-term investment. Now, yes, is it better to just skip Silverwolf and then pull for other valuable characters, and then get her on her rerun and have her basically complete your account by being able to apply these weaknesses, debuffs to the enemies. Yes, that's a very, very good decision, and I think that's the one a lot of people who truly, if you're serious about your account's longevity, should be going for. Now, ultimately, it's up to you which one you want, and I think it's not a surprise to most people that Hoyoverse categorize these banners in this way. Whereas one is a great short-term investment, even though you know that likely there are going to be other healers that comes out, and once other healers come out, you might find healers that suit your team and play style much better than Luocha will, but that's just going to be something you're going to have to deal with because you want that short-term gain and short-term progression. Versus Silverwolf, which if you pull now, then you won't have to worry about her on a rerun, but that's at the cost of potential 1.2 units that could be very beneficial to you, or even 1.3 units. That's why I think a lot of people, the best thing you could do is probably skip both of these characters if you are serious about playing this game long term, right? If you're wanting to build up a great account and you don't want to take any shortcuts, like you're not building Blade, so you're not going to really have a Luocha Blade combo, then really waiting for another healer to come out is going to be fine for you overall. Yes, are you going to struggle clearing Memory of Chaos? Absolutely. But what you're going to get in return is going to be a much better synergized account with units and characters and supports and healers and everything that just work extremely well with each other, and likely find yourself investing in less characters overall, but all the characters that you have invested in are going to be of high value. But again, that's just my opinion. Do what you want with your account, with your gems, but understand that for a lot of these situations right now, Hoyoverse is really pushing hard on baiting people to pull for characters that have great aesthetics, as well as roles that are desperately needed in the game. The name's Walrus. If you enjoyed the content, made it all the way to the end, comment down who you're gonna pull, Luocha or Silverwolf, or if you're really thinking about it, comment skip. Until next time, urge you all to stay safe. Peace. Bye bye.